So, ladies and gentlemen, please, once again, can we put our hands together as I invite Honorable Commissioner of Ministry of Women Affairs, Lagos State, Honorable Mrs. Cecilia Bolaji Dada, represented by Mrs. Omogoriola Becky, Senior Executive Office, NGO Unit. Please, can we please put our hands together for her as she comes up? Please keep clapping until she gets here. Please keep clapping. Thank you very much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I greet all of us, and I stand on all existing protocol and greet our speakers, participants at this August conference. I stand to represent the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Honorable Mrs. Cecilia Bolaji Dada. She would have loved to be here, as Cheflizzy is one of our registered and certified NGO in Lagos State. But for exigencies of duties, she's unavoidably absent. I have a welcome address here, and I really want us to give a round of applause for our daddy that just finished this training. I call it training. I have learned one or two things too, and I pray all of us, what we have learned, will not only hear it alone, but will put it to practice. This is the welcome address by the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Honorable Mrs. Cecilia Bolaji Dada. And I read, I am highly honored to be part of the year 2022 Cheflizzy Foundation Conference, that is third annual, entrepreneurial positivity. Start with what you have. It is aimed at developing an independent mindset and to create space where intellectuals, entrepreneurs from inside and outside the world can gather to solve problems and change in the society. I commend the organizers of this great program, largely because it is in line with the vision of the Lagos State Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. The ministry is saddled with the responsibility of sustainably to reduce poverty among women, among girls, even through numerous empowerment programs with the protection of their rights in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, in all parts of the world, women are facing threats to their lives, health, and well-being as a result of being overburdened with work, often aggravated by their lack of power and influence. In Nigeria, for instance, the traditional indigenous community believe that the role of a woman is predominantly in the home, where she is expected to play a multi-dimensional role of a wife, mother, and housekeeper. These women continuously evolve as people who are helpless, oppressed, and marginalized. Such factors make it almost impossible for them to achieve and reach their maximum potentials. Hence, the empowerment of women is crucial to the socio-economic growth of every state. Thank you. Entrepreneurs are people that create jobs, drive and nurture businesses, which speed up structural changes in the economy. They create large-scale employment, which reduces unemployment and provide balanced regional development to stimulate equitable redistribution of wealth. Female entrepreneurs are women in business who have the courage to create and manage an enterprise with a vision to positively influence lives in the world. Statistics have shown that in 2017, more than 11.6 million firms are owned by women, employing nearly 9 million people and generating 1.7 trillion in sales. We have some women who overcame business hurdles and made great impact in the business world, like the likes of Terafela Durotoye, a lawyer and makeup artist who, as of today, is the founder and CEO of Tara Foundation and the creator of Tara Orekelewa Beauty Range, amongst others. The theme of the Cheflizzy Foundation conference this year, Start With What You Have, is thought-provoking, considering the limited number or unavailability of white-collar jobs and the economic recession ravaging nations of the world. And of course, Nigeria is not left out. Most nations are now looking inwards for financial sustainability through employment programs. Therefore, the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation has established 18 skill acquisition centers where no fewer than 20 vacations are taught free of charge. And so far, we have graduated 16,100 students from our centers, most of who have become employers of labor in the society today. We have numerous skills short-term programs in the ministry at our centers, all our self-centers all over the states, and has empowered 10,000 vulnerable women and indigents across the states. I must say at this point that the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, through the Skill Acquisition Centers, organizes short-term skills and long-term skills. For the short term, we have them for less than 3 weeks. And of course, startup packs are given. Because there are times that people will learn businesses, they will learn trade, and they will be like, we don't have anything to start. But the ministry gives what to start with. That is what you can begin with, what you have learned, what to start with at that point in time. And I wish to use this opportunity to charge all participants at this program to explore our training programs at the ministry and get empowered to become financially stable to support our families. Please do not despise the days of little beginnings, because little drops of water will eventually make a mighty ocean. That goes for the speech of the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, and I thank you all for listening. If I don't say this, my name will not be at rest. I work with the NGO unit of the ministry, and then I'm aware of the impact that Cheflizzy Foundation has made. Over the years, even when she started, in fact, she's one of our instructors in our skill centers. I think I'm right. Yes, she's one of our instructors at our various skill acquisition centers. She started with us, and look at her today. The glory of God is upon her and that which she did. I pray this is, and I want to encourage the younger ones here this afternoon, that this is what consistency brings. When you are consistent, when you don't give up, and then when you don't appear to be laid back. There are some people, it's not even to taking up the business that is their problem, but they're just laid back. They just want it to come to them. You have to be a goal-getter. Cheflizzy is one of them. It's a laudable feat that she's doing here this afternoon, and I pray The Lord will continue to fulfill and perfect all that concerns her in the mighty name of Jesus. Please, it is the tradition of the ministry to motivate and identify with individuals that are ready to start up businesses. You are free to come into the ministry, Block 18, Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. You can ask for the NGO unit. There, we do register NGOs, certify, monitor, and then oversee and coordinate their affairs, even in the States. I want us to give a round of applause once again for Cheflizzy. She's one of our vibrant NGOs, and she can attest to it. Recently, she got a grant from the state to the glory of God, and it's as a result of her activities and that which she has been doing. I pray in all our endeavors the Lord will manifest, and then we will have cause to glorify His holy name always. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Honorable Cecilia Becky. So you know where to go now. When you want to register for your NGO, or you want to find your faith. If I were you, after this training, I would just walk up to her to make it faster for me when I get there, collect her contacts. So, media, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, please. I want us to please pay attention. Whatever it is that you're doing, we've had testimonies about Cheflizzy from people. So let's also hear about other people that are not here. Media, roll, please.
Hello everyone, this is Caregivers class of Digital Christian Center. From the beginning of the month, we've had our caregivers giving you word of God. If you have not seen those videos, please go back to it. Our caregivers have done wonders. And today we're going to bring someone to you who had been a caregiver before, but now that is what we've been talking about.
Good day, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Oluwatosin. I'm excited and privileged to be here this day. My story, I really don't know how to start. I know I'll just pick it up somewhere because God has given me the privilege to be here this day. You know, growing up was very tough as a young girl. Looking into my parent eye was, I don't see, there's this thing that baffles me. I don't see happiness in my mom's face. And then every day, most times when I look into her eyes, she keeps nodding, and then you see tears dropping from her eye. That is what I grew up to see from my mom. And this has actually affected me growing up. It killed my confidence and my morale, because when there's no happiness around you, it limits you. And it affects what you can do even as a child. Also, when you now have a father that seems to be like the almighty in the house, a bully, your mom can't even express herself. And these are the faces of my life as a young girl of hate online. Then, I love my mom so much, and I was afraid she's going to die, and really I don't want to lose her. And I started looking up to her and then believing that one day I'll be able to help her, I'll be able to assist her in that pain. Because she always said this to us, people must go to school, you must have education. I don't have education, but you guys must have education. That's our struggle, that's our pain. And after a while, I had to join her in the field of service. I realized that before we could have our meals, then my mom had to go out, get food, help people to work, menial jobs, probably clean their homes and do all sorts. Then she bring in the leftover. Sometimes she bring food that take months in their freezers, and then we'll be excited about it that at least there is food. I remember a day that my younger sister, to the glory of God, she now lives in the US and she's doing very well, took out the pot, an empty pot, and she washed all the pots. She was about to wash the pot, and my mom was like, why did you want to wash? Did I ask you to do that? And she gave her a dirty slap, and my mom took the pot back inside, and she put some water into it, added salt, and she kept it back on the, we don't even have a stove. There's this thing we use, they call it sawdust, and then fill it up in a pot, and that was what we used. And my mom cooked that water, and she made eba. That Yoruba, we call it eba, some people call it gari, And then we all sat around table, and that was what we had. And that was the only meal. We have this style going up in my house. There's this 0-0. If you are not going to eat breakfast, it's going to be 0. If you are going to take your lunch, it's going to be 0-1-0. And if you are not going to eat breakfast and lunch, maybe it's going to be dinner. It's going to be 0-0-1. That means you're not going to have breakfast, you're not going to have lunch, and then dinner, anything. Sometimes we turn it into fasting. It was not a sweet experience. And then after all of that, I needed to support my mom to bring in money, and that was why I became a caregiver. Now, when I hear caregiver, it sounds too it's house help, it's omodo, that's what they call us. You're an house help, you're a proper house help, that you don't even have a voice, you don't have a place to put your head, and you don't even have a bed. I see caregivers now with phones, with nice dresses. Thank God to the kind of church that I am, that the kind of caregiver that I see, sometimes you don't even believe they are caregiver. So I know there's so much hope for you guys, So I had to start like that, and that was the only reality for me. It wasn't good, but it was the only option. And God was helping me to get little money, and then I would give to my parents, and we're growing up like that. My experience as a caregiver in different homes wasn't sweet, because there's this particular woman I lived with. She's I don't want to call her names. She's very hot, and because of that, I'm always very afraid. I can't look into her eyes. I can't talk to her. And of course, the husband will come and meet me. I call him daddy, my master. He will say, don't worry, I know mommy is he will even be abusing the wife. He will say, I know she's wicked. I know she doesn't like you. And as he was saying that, he's moving closer to me, to touch me, to do all sorts with me. I knew where I'm coming from. Remember, I told you there was nothing to even smile at in my house. So whenever the man used my body as the way he always loved to do.
The story is becoming interesting, but we needed to pause. I don't know what is going on in your mind. Maybe you think your story is that bad. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a beginning. The main purpose is, what are you doing with your story? It might not make sense now, but at the end of the day, like Steve Jobs says, he says, connects the dots to the back, and it begins to make sense. So we still have more testimonies. These ones are physical testimonies, short testimonies. Please, can we have the testifiers? Where are they? Please come out. Please, can we put our hands together for them, please?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having us. Someone please come out.
We're actually supposed to play, a short video of this, some of us here, but there's no time, and I think the media having issues there. Okay, this is Samuel. I'm going to allow them to say little because everybody cannot talk. But these people have decided to come and encourage you, not to showcase anything. Even if it's one person, their stories will actually motivate and to trigger a positive change in you in Jesus' name. Okay, Samuel, do you want me to say little about you? 4 years ago, I met Samuel on the streets of Lagos. He was actually hawking bread. I'm glad Samuel's class teacher is here today, and that's the Madam Folake. You know, it's just a coincidence actually. Samuel hawks bread along Fagba Road. And each time I see this guy, I saw energy in him. Sometimes it takes about 10 loads or 10 exams, and he runs, and he looks very scary though. His face, he has cuts all over his body, I'm always afraid to talk to him, but something tells me there is potential in this guy. So one day I stopped and I approached him. So I want him to continue from there. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Samuel from Adekiti. And I'm here to I don't know where to start from. I'm here to appreciate my mom. So I'm here to appreciate my mom, my mentor, my guardian. Like she has been with me right from the time I started my life in the traffic. I stopped school because of my way of life, and I have a teacher here to testify about that. So, on my process of working bread in the traffic, I just found out that she loved buying bread from my hand every day. So I was not wondering that I've seen a customer that will be buying bread from me, the way our mentality gives that aspect. So there was a day she asked me that, what would you love to do? I said, okay, if I see someone that can put me in the aspect of learning aluminum and also catering, she said, okay, she will help me with the aspect of catering. And to God be the glory, today I
Today, Samuel is an undergraduate of Yaba and he's also working because he's running a part-time study. He's also working in an hotel in Lekki.
yeah, Time Out Hotel.
He's now a chef. He's solving a problem. His mother has two. The other one is a challenged child. Samuel has been the father of the family as young as me. I'm glad that God changed his story. And right now, he still needs us to encourage him. He needs mentoring. He needs financial support as well to stand. He's a baker. He bakes bread very well. Thank you. Okay. All right, this is another daughter God gave me. Thank God I met Bolu. Bolu is the young lady that lost her husband this year. The guy that was killed in Lekki. Yes. But I'm glad Bolu is standing today. That's a stand behind you. You are going to hurt me if you are not going to patronize her. She has a chapman, she has a small chops. She lost her husband, how many months? 6 months, back, and she's here standing. I would want her to talk fast.
A very big thank you to you, Cheflizzy. Thank you so much. I met her just like a year ago, through this app. Thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity of this app. I learned so much of through her, and since then, I've been doing this gradually. And I almost lost hope when I lost my husband this year, when he was killed at Lekki by the bike riders over there. But thank God for Lizzie, for Cheflizzy. She was there for me. She came to the house, encouraged me, and I had to move on in life because I have 2 boys. And today, I thank God, here I am, standing again. Then, apart from making small shops, making fruit juice, I make smoothies. I also work with the Lagos State government. I study mechanical engineering, I work with it as well. I just want to thank God. She's really, really a good person that has been a support, just like the way my husband was for me. Thank God for her.
Good afternoon, everyone. I met Cheflizzy 8 years ago. I actually took a cake to an event and she brought in the wedding cake. So from there, she has been helping me in one way or the other. She actually taught me most of the things I did because I was actually working. But when I stopped my work, I went to meet her that I'm here to learn. So she took me from Akute to Fagba. We keep moving around with her. But I thank God for coming here. She's a big sister to me. And I appreciate all what she did for me. Thank you. So I'm here to sell small chops today. I'm actually known as Cake Zone. So I'm selling small chops today, samosa, spring rolls. I also do cakes and catering. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan Toyibak Lukman, popularly known as Chef T. She gave me Chef T actually. As at 3 years ago, I met Cheflizzy through my sister, my mother here. She's here. Thank God, I'm privileged actually. Actually, I'm a medical lab scientist, but now a big planet chef. All thanks to her. As at last year, I've always been skeptical actually about this thing because I'm always scared. Okay, what if I can't make it? What if it's not even worth leaving my profession for? But trust me, today I give all glory to all glory to God. Thanks to Cheflizzy and thanks to Mommy Obalolua and thanks to my husband. Thank you so very much. Thank you for me. Okay, Tim's Bakes and Chops. We have cake basically today and peanuts, but we do small chops as well and cakes. That's what we do basically. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, my name is Vivian. I met Cheflizzy say 2019 at this business center. And then after the training, actually, okay, I went for the training because I just wanted to learn, a couple of things so that I could practice them maybe at home for my kids. But I didn't take it really serious because I had something I was doing until recently. Okay, what happened was I was into a business that crashed actually, and I was at home for like 1 year not doing anything. So one day it occurred to me that I could talk to Cheflizzy. I remember during the training then, she told us the story of Samuel. And then I just said to myself, if she could meet someone on the road and pick the person and had if you could pick someone on the road and train the person and see to it that they can, start doing something, then I can go to her. So I just called her up and she's like, who are you? I said, I'm one of the students. She said, come and see me. I went to her and I explained things to her. And she's like, you won't stay at home again. you know so much and you're just that. So what can you do? I told her a couple of things I could do. And then one of it is, I told her I'm very good at cooking. I love to cook. And she said, if you can cook, then start. So I thought of it, okay, what do I start with? I said to start making soups. And today I'm happy that, you know, I do what I love and I enjoy it and people like it. Thank you, Cheflizzy. Okay, here I have afang soup, I have oha soup, I have vegetable soup, and I know you will love it. Thank you.
So Daddy, we want you to just come on. Daddy, sir. Yes, sir. The story won't be complete without that because this is the registrar of Daystar Skill Participation. They actually gave me the opportunity to meet these people. Without God, without Daystar platform, maybe I wouldn't have met a lot of them. Thank you, sir.
I am amazing to hear that you guys are doing what we trust God for you. You know, one of the greatest things that I saw a couple of years ago, my institute went to the office of the vice president because we were training some people. We wanted the government to support. And I got to hear that the vice president was busy because they had a photo shoot for some event. And behold, when the testimony came out, it was one of the deserved alumni. I said, that small thing, photography, has brought him. I know what it took us to come to that office. But we didn't even get to where he got, where he was coming from. But he had something in his hands. Go ahead. Even the sky is your starting place. God bless.
Please, photograph. Please come back. Please. Can we just take a group of please? You want to use that, please? Okay. Daddy, please, you can join them, please. Reverend Paul, please, you can join them for the group of the speakers. Yes. And the speakers, please. That's the speakers, please. Because they might not have time again. Please, you have the exhibitors stand there. You know, when we heard that story of Lekki, a lot of us said, hey, you never knew that it was this close. Now, if you didn't hear her story, you will not know. So please, let's patronize them. Even though you are not hungry, just buy and go and give somebody. You might see somebody that have not eaten since morning outside and dash the person. You are not, you are people like me, somebody like me that don't drink all these fizzy drinks, apart from water, you can buy and give somebody beside you. Okay, please, let's encourage them this afternoon by patronizing them. Thank you so much, Cheflizzy. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, let's. All right. We are progressing this afternoon. Wow, the stories are so touching. I'm trying to break down. It is not easy. Cheflizzy, what I can say is God bless you. God keep you. God keep establishing you. And everyone that crosses your path, may the Lord use you to impact them positively more and more. And to every one of us here, like Daddy said, there's something that God has given to you. Please use that to affect lives. There is a solution that needs, there's a problem that needs a solution. So you are a solution provider around you. Please, let's invite Mr. Jimo Musibao Ayinde, the Deputy Director of Projects Monitoring and Implementation Units, Office of the Chief of Staff. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Thank you very much, sir.
All our students will get Sorry, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, speakers.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Um, Before I actually start talking on the topic I have to speak on, entrepreneurial positivity, I realized that virtually everybody here is here to speak on the same topic. Yes, when Cheflizzy got in touch with me, she didn't get back to give me update. I thought the program was not, it was only yesterday. Thank God I have this on my system before. But whichever way, I went into the plan to get a very short film concerning entrepreneurial positivity, a good mindset for everybody. The film itself is enough to actually give us some inspiration. It is about a lady called Fejiro. I think it's on the internet too. So, but let him play so that we all see. And I just, in less than 5 minutes, I have done. Sorry, please.
It is just like every other place, where only hard work pays.
What did you find here?
I want that she's you.
My wood. They come out for this place. You never go read your book.
Uncle, I don't resist now. I go return now.
That's what you said the last time. Small girl, all these things wey you dey see for here so. Now money I take buy am. I no pick am.
Uncle, I know. But this is not important. I should not come now.
This girl,
Hmm?
this girl, you are disturbing me. Now leave this place. Nonsense. Important indeed. That's how you and your Fejiro, 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 Fejiro. It's okay. Man will teach you.
Fejiro is here. How far you get on? Talk now. Yes. Yeah, yes. People can laugh at a cross for all I care, but with all this great magic. Of course, make sure say that phone mic not dey show for Ogaga camera. It's not the show. I once read somewhere that if your dream don't scare you, then it is not big enough. Action! Some people think we are mad to want to create a world that is different from ours, to want to walk in other people's shoes in my imagination. But sometimes dreams die.
What can I do for you? We are not come out.
Sometimes I forget why I am doing this in the first place. Maybe I should just be a normal girl.
Sergio, why are you not smiling?
I feel this could be better.
Don't worry. We'll do it better next time. And the award goes to Fejiro. Woo! Don't worry. Next time, we'll do better and win an award.
I am a filmmaker. My best friends are my crew. My toys are my props. And my imagination is my world.
Just like every one of us can think of the plan. Now we dream. Even without anything, without nothing with you, without anything, you can start something. Fejiro is a very young girl in Delta State, and she has a dream. She wants to be a filmmaker. She does not have anything, but although she has a team, she has her friends as her team members. She is the leader. She's the leader of the team. But what she does is that she has a dream. She has imagination. She has a mindset that she wants to be a filmmaker. She has nothing to start with, but what she has is a dream that one day she will become somebody. Now, she went to her brother. We have all seen it. She built wood, big carton, and made film. All of us can actually think like that. Those who want to be an entrepreneur, you can start with anything that you have. You can start with supplier to get things, raw material to start. If you are a baker, even without a dime, you can start from somewhere. And starting from somewhere means you can have a relationship with those that you give what to start with. You know, in Nigeria, getting loan from bank is not easy. You cannot even make it because what they ask you to bring is no more than the business you want to do. So the best thing you can do is to look inward and start with the little things that you have. God will be on our side. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. So we'll just quickly go into 2023 projection. What is 2023 like for Cheflizzy Foundation? And peradventure, you want to be part of it. You want to join and support. So I'm going to invite Shade to please tell us the projection for Cheflizzy 2023. Please, a round of applause for her, please. Thank you very much.
Projections for 2023. Cheflizzy Foundation is a registered non-governmental organization which is fully operational in Nigeria. In the last 4 years, Cheflizzy Foundation, through the leadership of Elizabeth Solomon as Cheflizzy, has reached out to over 1,000 Nigerians in various employment programs, especially training and distribution of various materials. Every year, we structured conference with profound speakers while they develop in this independent mindset in entrepreneurs to create space for inside and outside the world to gather and solve problems and promote change in our society. Now here are the Cheflizzy projections for 2023. One of our objectives is to set up skill acquisitions for unemployed citizens for the purpose of empowering and equipping young adults, men, women, to be self-reliant. The second is to raise partners and volunteers to activate Entrepreneurs Club, whereby a successful CEO or organization with similar aims and objectives mentor entrepreneurs who are confused and challenged. Also, to provide food once in a month for the vulnerable in the community. To organize conference, training, workshop, seminars to create independent and entrepreneurial market. Also, and the last one, to ensure that women in particular, the poor and the vulnerable, have equal rights to economic resources as well as access basic services. So those are the Cheflizzy projection for 2023.
Thank you very much, Shadi. So that's a projection for 2023 for Cheflizzy. So like we said, if you want to be part of it, she's here. If you have somebody that wants to be part of it, please get her contact. So right away, I'm going to invite our second speaker this afternoon. Remember, we're talking about entrepreneurship mindset. You've heard from our Reverend Paul Nwaluka. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor this afternoon to invite the one who, I'm unable to, I don't know if it's me that's supposed to introduce him, but I will try. Please put your hands together for Coach Enahoro Okai, CEO, First Factory.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. See my shoulder. Let's sing that song together. Everybody, up, sing. Come on, everybody, up. Come on, everybody, on shoulder. If you don't appreciate that support I saw on the stage, then you're not going to be singing. How are you, my friend? I can't hear your voice. Come on, play somebody and say that. Come on. I can't hear your voice now. It's not loud enough. Can you put more volume? I know sometimes it be like say, nobody sent you, that's my life. All right, thank you, it's enough. Everyone, thank you. You can bring it down. Can we have some silence? Thank you. Can we have some silence? Thank you. How do I start? All right, let me start by bringing out Cheflizzy. Please come. I thought I know what she was doing. I thought I knew. I want everybody to rise up and please help me put their hands together and give a powerful clap for this lady. When you see things happening like this, it's the glory. By the time you hear the story, I was moved to tears when I was listening to her story. Where's Mr. Biodun Shodiko? Please help me bring Mr. Biodun Shodiko. Jet lady's husband. When you see people making things happen, it's important that we are able to appreciate. Please sit down. Thank you. It's important that we're able to appreciate them. Because I organize programs, I try to help people. I understand the work. I understand the loneliness that you can have sometimes. And honestly, even as close as I can be, Mr. Biodun, please come. Everybody, you want to put your hands together for Mr. Shodiko. When you see a woman doing very well, without any doubt, not every time, because a lot of our men are lazy now. Yeah, not every time, but in a time like this, you know that there's a man somewhere who says, keep going, keep going, keep going. It is not every time that you find a man who is confident enough to allow the woman shine. It's not every time. It's not. To find a man who is running around while his name is not being called and the name of the wife is constantly being called. It's not every time you see that kind of a thing. Sam, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. He's my friend, he's my buddy. We talk a lot when we can. And I want to say thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. So Coach Lizzy, I just want to say thank you for all of this. Thank you for the work that you do. I want to encourage you. I don't know what the challenges will be in the course of all of this, but don't stop. There's only one definition I know for greatness. Greatness is impact and contribution. Impact and contribution. So if they say name a great person, any name you call, go back and check. The reason you would call that name is because they have impacted and contributed. You don't call people great because of money. No. Check it again. You don't call people great because they have a lot of houses. So when I say, show me a great person, and you say Mandela, it's not because of his money. It's not because he has houses. It's not because he built things. It's because of impact and contribution. I've come to understand in my little life that greatness is not given to old people. It's not given to men or women. It's given to people who have simply impacted and contributed. And if that is the definition of greatness, this is greatness standing in front of you. All right, I needed to be short. So for each of those people that came out, personally, I'm going to support their business with 20,000 naira each. Each of you, I want to encourage you. I don't know what I would do. I needed to ask her first to be sure that it can do something, to their business. I'm almost shed tears there to know that. I mean, we are having so much impact. Thank you very much. I'm going to send through you to them. Thank you very much. So I've got about 30 minutes to teach. I've used how many minutes? I've spent 10 minutes. There's so much I can say today. I'm hoping that you'll be able to ask questions, because when we're talking about entrepreneurship and the mindset, I will pass for one because I started from ground zero. And when I mean ground zero, came out of school, went for a lot of interviews and was rejected by all. When I mean all of them. And one of the major reasons why they will say, Enahoro won't take you, is because they thought I was too busy. And why was I too busy? I was doing everything that my hands can do. And so the first thing, I'm going to share my story and I'm going to begin to tell you to look for the entrepreneur's mindset in it. Because all I have done is to try and build business because I couldn't find a place to work. And today we have partnership with two international organizations, one in the US, one in Australia. If you look at my, no, don't worry about that. There's no time. If you look at my profile, that profile started from, now there's so much to read in that profile, right? But I'd like to remind you that there was a time there was nothing in the profile. The only thing in the profile was an Ahoro High BSc accounting with a 2-2. You know, that was the only thing in the profile. And to have built that profile today, I'm going to show you some of the ways I've gone about it, and you're going to pick the mindset of an entrepreneur from me. So it all started from a confused state, right? So when I share that story, look for your own mindset out of it. Look for your own knowledge out of it, right? So it's okay to be confused and not be sure what to do. It's very, very okay to be confused. And so I was doing everything. I was in a place called Kedi, you know, this Tianchi, so I was doing Kedi, right? At that time, I could tell you the drug that you would use for anything about drug. I just came out of NYSC, and during NYSC, I was a member of Road Safety Corps, the community development, right? That means we were going around Ekiti State talking to public drivers. I gained some knowledge there. I'm also a drummer. So I'm coming out of school, I was playing drum. How many of you have heard of Sugar Band before? Anybody heard of Sugar Band? I was a drummer in Sugar Band in those days. So I came out of school, I was playing drums. I was doing network marketing. So I had downlines. You know, remember the look for 5 people that will look for 5 people that will look for 5 people and all of that. Yeah. So I was doing that. And one of our strategies is to say, come and make money, and we will organize conferences. And I was also writing proposals to organizations because now I can teach drivers something. I knew about defensive driving, safety driving, and all of that because I was a member of road safety when I was serving. So I took all of that and I was busy. So I was busy because I had to do something, and I was also going for interviews like my mates were going for interviews. Now, the unfortunate thing, which has become fortunate, is that nobody agreed to employ me, right? And so I was in a confused state. In 2008, that was the worst one because everything started around 2006, 2007, and 2008. I left Sugar Band because I knew I wanted to do something else in my life. I was going to get married, so I was confused. You know when you say you're confused? So if you're confused about what to do today, it's not a problem. You are like me. And if I have the opportunity to stand in front of you to teach today, that means, or to share my story today, that means your confusion can be a story too. You understand? Your confused state, one day you will be telling somebody today, I'm confused, I don't even know where to go. Now the challenge with confusion is that sometimes it blocks your brain. But in your confused state, I want you to do anything your hands can find doing. Don't wait to find the perfect thing to do. If you're waiting to find the perfect thing to do, you will wait forever because there's no perfection anywhere. Growth is the definition, not perfection. The name of this game is growth. You start something and you grow. You don't wait for a perfect, there's never a perfect time to start a business. There's never a perfect state to start anything. Right? Now, do everything your hands can do when you are confused. Anything. Just be doing them. In the midst of all that you are doing, you will find the real thing to do. And you will drop the ones that are not necessary. And that's what I was doing. I was, every Wednesday, I would go to Kedi. I would talk. That's when I started realizing I can do this thing that I'm doing now. Because I didn't want anybody to talk to my downline. I want to talk to my downline by myself. So I was talking to my own downlines. I'll gather them together. You know, we can do this thing. You know, we can do it. And then the Chinese guys realized that I know how to talk. So every Wednesday they will call me to come and talk to a lot of people. Say, Mr. Nauri, when you talk, people register. You know, when I talk, people register, right? And then they will pay me 1,000 naira. Every time I talk on Wednesday, they give me 1,000 naira. The Chinese people, they give me 1,000 naira, and I will have downlines too. But I was busy. And then the next thing that happened is that I realized I needed somebody to give me clarity. So that's number 2. The first one is that in your confused state, right? Do anything that comes to your mind, do anything your hands find to do. As far as you don't have clarity, don't wait to say, I can't do anything because I'm not clear. No, start. And then go and look for clarity. You see, as an entrepreneur, you will struggle a lot if you are not using the small that you have. The small that I had was playing drums and making small money so that I can survive. You know, when you are not healthy, you cannot donate anything to the world. Just to survive, just to survive. And then I look for clarity. How do you get clarity? You need a mentor. You see, there's nothing you want to do in this life that somebody has not done before. Don't deceive yourself that you have a special thing. There's nothing you want to do that somebody has not done before. So you have to look for a mentor. In Latin, it says, Nanos gigantum humeris incidentis, right? That is giants standing on the shoulders. Dwarfs standing on the shoulders of giants. You stand tall because you stand on the shoulders of those that have gone ahead of you. So you have to be humble enough to be able to tell somebody, I don't know what I'm doing. Now, your pride is not going to make you say that. It takes humility to get to a place where you can tell someone, I need clarity. And so for me, I had to look for a mentor in Olakuleshore. And I went to him. I said, sir, I think you can help me. I don't know. I'm doing everything, but I don't know exactly what I want to do with my life. Now, the question he asked me is, so what are you doing now? It's like somebody wants to give you, like, I want to give those guys 20,000 naira each. Why? Because I find them doing something. If you want to start something and you come to me and you say you need 50K, the first question I will ask you is what? How much do you have? If you say you don't have anything, you have not done anything, the sense I will get is that you're not serious. So the first thing they asked me is, what are you doing now as a graduate? And then I said everything to him. I'm playing music. I go for wedding every Saturday. I play burial every Friday. I play birthdays every Sunday. Another thing I'm doing, there's one Chinese people. I used to go there and talk. And then I told him everything. And then I'm writing proposals because I know about driving. I don't tell anybody, I didn't know how to drive, but I knew how to teach drivers. I've never driven a car in my life. But I will write proposal. I just enter any company. I say, my name is Anahoro. Hi. I know how to speak to drivers because I was a member of Road Safety Corps when I was serving. So I can speak to your drivers. In the midst of all that arrant nonsense, as you would call it, I got companies who told me to come and train their drivers. There was a particular one, 560,000 naira worth of training. I was not a trainer, don't forget. I was not a trainer. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was busy. And then money was coming. Are you getting it? So I sat down with my mentor, and so there are 3 people you need in your life. 3 extremely important people you need in your life. Number 1, you need a man ahead. That is, or the woman ahead in your case, somebody that has gone ahead of you in anything you want to do. It doesn't matter what your age is. If you want to develop a non-governmental organization now, even if you are a 50-year-old woman, Cheflizzy has gone ahead of you. If you spend 10 minutes talking to her, it will reduce 2 years' work for you to 2 months' work. The first book I ever read on consulting in my life is How to Make It Big as a Consultant. It was given to me by my mentor. And as I was reading his book, everywhere he marked, I would take a pause and I would read that place very well. Why did my mentor mark this place? So you need the man ahead, somebody that has gone ahead of you if you want to succeed in business. The second person you need is you need the man around. The man around. That is somebody who can give you support and collaboration. As you start by looking for the man ahead. As you are establishing, you meet the man around. You meet them. So today there's Cheflizzy, but there's another Lizzy, isn't it? Right? And if she wants to pay now, she will pay a lot of money. There's Moji here. They are the man around or the woman around. And thank you for the support. Thank you so much, Moji. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support you're giving to her. So you meet the man around and they give you support. I want to organize a program. The man around, people that have tried to do the kind of things that you're doing, collaboration, you must be co-ing something. It's either you are co-organizing or co-teaching or co-baking or co-small chopping or you must be co-ing something. If you're not co-ing anything in your life, then you are just on your own. Are you getting it? And as you go ahead in life, you need the man behind. Right? The man behind is somebody that when you are not there, everything will still be fine. And you build them. So at this time in your life, you need a mentor to show you clarity. And that is the thing I did. And I started like that because he was able to help me understand that it seemed like this thing that you're doing, it looks like consulting. Right? It looks like it. And so when we concluded that it looks like consulting, maybe you need to start a consulting company. How do you start a consulting company, management consulting company? You are consulting for organizations when you have never worked in your life. Is that possible? It sounds crazy. So when you go there and say you want to consult, I want to consult for you. The first question they will ask you is what? When did you get your experience? So at 29, 5 years just after NYC, right? You have never worked and then you create a card, you want to become a consultant. So what did I do? The first thing I did is to go and look for knowledge. The very first thing I did, now I want to become a consultant. I will sit down in my house, I will say, so I'm a consultant. And I was telling myself, so I'm a consultant. So I'm a management consultant. I will go on Google, I will say, who is a management consultant? What does management consultant do? I begin to ask myself, so I'm a consultant. And then the first thing I did was to go and get this cheapest training anywhere that a consultant can do. So you have to look for knowledge. You have to look for knowledge. People perish for lack of what? Lack of knowledge. So there was a 25,000 naira program that Industrial Training Fund was doing, ITL. So if I go there, they will teach me what training is all about, what consulting is all about. Okay? So I got married in December. My wife will go to work. Me, I will go to church. Because I didn't have anywhere to go. So I go to church as a musician, but I will sit in the music room of the church. I will open my laptop and I will start Googling, who is a consultant? What is a consultant? What do consultants do? Because I'm just getting started. And so 3 months after I got married, or 2 months, I went for that training. So to get knowledge. I was opening my, Google has just helped a lot of things. Right? I grew on Google. You know what they call grow? And because there was no experience, right? So I got a little certification. It's called Train the Trainer. So you want to be a consultant, you'll be training people. So I went them to teach me, Train the Trainer. I looked for the cheapest one. You know that there will be Philip Consulting, there's Akitola Williams, there's all those big ones. No. The cheapest one is 25,000 naira. And I went for it. And after the training, after 5 days, they said everybody should come and present for 5 minutes. Everybody in that training came from a company. They all had business card. The only person that did not come from a company is me. But after we finished presenting, the woman called me. Her name is Mrs. Ibe. So he presented the best. So what's the name of your company? At that time, we had the name already. I said, senior before to study, but we are just registering it. Say, okay. Just keep going. And then I said to her, can I come and see you on Monday? She said, yes. And that was a Friday. Again, getting knowledge, you need people that have gone ahead of you. I said that. I went to see her on a Monday, and I said, I've never done this thing before. I don't have any experience. Can you please mentor me? You know, Jota here. She said, you don't work for a company. I said, no. You've never been a trainer? I said, no. You've never been a consultant? I said, no. He said, well, you taught very well. I said, well, I just do it. And then as we were talking, the phone rang. And the person on the phone on the other side was saying to her, they need somebody to come and train for Total Nigeria. So she, you know this landline. So she held the mouthpiece of the phone. And she said, no, they need somebody to speak on interpersonal skill. Can you do it? What did you think my answer was? So the next thing you need to learn is that you have to face all the fears that can come to you. My answer was yes. And she told them on the phone, there's a young man here, his name is Anahoro, and he's going to come to you, he should be able to do the training. So an entrepreneur is a risk taker. He will give it all. So I went to those people, they gave me the topic, they said you will speak on interpersonal skills and traits. So can you go and bring your slide? Yeah, slide. Thank God I had a laptop. How did I even have a laptop? I had a friend who was working, who had the opportunity to work. Me, I was not working. In his office, they gave them laptop. They now told them that anybody that wants to buy a personal laptop can come and collect and be paying small. So I begged him in the name of God. I said, please, collect laptop, collect it. I will be paying you every month. Because I didn't have money to buy a laptop. So I went home, I opened my laptop. I got to my house around 1 in the afternoon. They say I should bring the slide the next day. Abi? From that 1 in the afternoon to the next day, I was preparing slide. I did not sleep. I said, this one, this opportunity, I will give it everything. The next day around 12, I got to the office, I gave them the slide. They said, so you'll be presenting tomorrow. Remember, I have not slept. So I went home, I took my bath, I slept for 2 hours. I woke up around 3. I started learning what I was going to teach. My own slide. I learned it overnight. 2 days, I went there and I finished that training. Even me myself, my first official ever training without experience. What were the things that I did? I read so much. I studied so much. Each slide, now for you, it could be the small chops. You see that one small chop that they say you should come and make. You will make it, they will think that there's gold inside the small chop. You give it everything. I finished the training. Of course, I didn't have a car now. When I came down, as I was walking home, then when they say come and eat lunch, you say no. Because if you finish eating lunch and they follow you, say thank you, Mr. Nahoro, they will realize you don't have a car. So I didn't used to eat lunch. I didn't used to eat any food. I finished my training. I say I have another meeting. Who do I have meeting with? I have meeting with myself. I leave immediately so that they will not come and see my secrets. You know, when you stay too much and you talk too much, they will know that you are nobody. As I was going home, every car that I saw and I looked at myself, you know what I asked myself? Is it me? Did I just finish that training? Are we getting it? So what lesson are you going to take from that part of the story? The slightest opportunity you have after clarity as an entrepreneur, you will give it everything. Everything. Don't belittle. Don't look down on any opportunity and anybody you meet. Somebody called me over the week and said, I have opportunity to train some people in Abuja. I said, how did you get to training? He says, one woman, he's fat, he's the woman that was following me up. I said, you see that woman? For the rest of your life, older, a woman that can run around and help you get a job, you want to go and train in Abuja. I say, all the things that you came to ask me, I will tell you, but the most important thing I'm going to tell you, hold that woman. Yorubas will say in your last show, Abi, the secret to growth in any business is the relationship that you keep. The relationship, the biggest business I did in 2018 came from a text message. The biggest singular business. And the person just said, now, training deal, are you available? That's what. No proposal, no letter, no meeting, nothing. So, as I was saying, the first most important job you get as you begin to learn it, it's not even the first. Any little thing, anybody come and do, no matter how small it is, you would take it as if it's your life. You see, there are 4 reasons, there are 4 ways you want to make money. There are just 4 things you need to do. Number 1, look for a value that you want to show the world. And in this case, if your value is small jobs, if your value is, out of those confusion, pick one small thing. That's a value. What do I mean by value? Anything that somebody else can enjoy and exchange money from. You understand? Or exchange money with to you. Even if the value is to put something on social media. Anything you, as far as, it seems as if I do this thing, they will give me money. That's the first step. Look for a value. You want to make money. The second thing is tell the world about your value. And you say you are doing small jobs, you're not telling anybody. You say you are doing cake, you're not telling anybody. No, you have to tell people. Your neighbor must know. Your church member must know. The mosque member must know. Afa must know. Pastor must know. You have to tell people about it. You want to make money? If you don't tell people about the value that you have, money will not come. The third step is that after telling people about it, when people come and say they want to test your value, you will make them enjoy it so much. You were shouting that you can do something. And that's what I was talking about. When they try it, if it's small chop, let them eat the kind of small chop that for the rest of their life. After they eat it, 2 days after, they'll still be feeling it in their throats. You give it all. And when people now enjoy it, they will go and be telling other people about it to come and enjoy more. And then the more people that come, the more you make them enjoy it. Money will follow it. Money will follow. Apart from Yahoo, which you cannot do, I hope so. Cheating people, which you cannot do. The secret to money, if you look at Cheflizzy, she would have started with something. Are we getting it? And then she tells people about it. And then when more people come, they come and enjoy it. And then more people will come. And that's how you continue to grow. So, that part of the story is that whatever your hands find to do, make sure you do it so well. Because if you do it well, everybody, you have your little corner. You see, don't be scared that there are 1 million people doing small jobs. No. When I started consulting and I didn't have experience, there are some people that I met, they thought that I was the best consultant in the world. You know what that means? Those were the ones that God has called me to. And the opportunity, you have your little corner. You have your what? Your little corner. You see, no matter what anybody is doing, in every business, there's a billionaire and there's a pauper. In the shoemaking business, there's Adidas, there's Nike, but there's a young man who is also making shoe around the corner of Obalende. You see, along that chain, everybody will find a place to stay. See, they are all making shoes. You know, not be shoes. So you ensure that when you do it, you give it all that it takes. You have your little corner. You will meet somebody who thinks that you are, if you are doing photography, just ensure that as you want to take that photograph, if you have to sit down like that, if you have to bend like this, anything, as far as when they take that picture, they say, yes, hallelujah, man. And they will say, can you come again? For those that don't understand Yoruba, please tell them what that means, right? Then the person will take one passport and call you again. And that second one, give it everything, kill it. And then the person will tell somebody else about you. You see, there was a time in my business, I could tell where everything came. Mrs. Igberi, I come business inside the musician's room. One day I was sitting inside the musician's room, like I didn't have office, Abi. And then one woman came. What did she want to do? She wants to do audition. She wants to join the choir. And I'm the one that will check her out so that she can sing. After all of that, she said, so what do you do? I say, I'm a trainer. She said, I'm a trainer now, I'm a consultant. You know, it took a while for me to say, I'm a consultant. I say, hey, so do you train? I say, yes. He said, I have a job in Ekpe. I've been looking for who will go. Now, inside that place that I am, I told people about what I do. And that's how I got a job to train for Lagos State in Ekpe. And I did that job 4 years consecutively. From inside the musician's room. When you start something, mysteries unfold. Once you start, it's just start something. Mysteries will begin to unfold. The things that you never imagined that can happen to you will begin to unfold. All right? Now, just a few skills so that, I have to stop now. One of the things that helped me is the gift of imagination. The gift of what? Now, imagination is not just something. It is a skill. The capacity to sit down and close your eyes. And this is what I used to do. I will imagine the training room. You know, I don't have experience. So I will imagine work experience. They say, so come and teach us how to communicate at work. But I've never been in an office. But I've been in church. How do they communicate in our department? Some people fight when they communicate. So I will not imagine that people in the office are communicating and they are quarreling. I will not imagine how my training will help them. So I will imagine to the extent that I will forget that I don't have experience. Do you understand what that means? You can imagine something to the extent that it will be so big inside of you, you will forget that it is not real. But what is not real anyway? As a man thinking, are we getting it? So the gift of imagination. You see, you can't pay any money. Nobody will ask you for money to imagine that very soon you are going to be cooking and taking photograph in Aso Rock. Would you pay any money? Would you pay? It's free. Would anybody beat you? Let me tell you what people do. People close their eyes and imagine what does not work. And they imagine, things are not working. If I start this business, hey, it might fail. That's imagination. Me, I learned how to think of, it will work. Very soon. Just imagine that you're in London now. Who would you pay? Would you pay anybody to imagine it? So you have to create, you know what they say, call something into existence. It starts from there. You have to take those things that are not as though they are. You have to be able to understand when you are taught, when they say the things that you do not see are the things that created what you see. So everything that you see are created from something that is not seen. This table that you can see was created from a table that cannot be seen. Where is that table? It was in the mind of somebody. If you bring the person here and this table does not align with what is in his mind, he will say, no, that's not the table. You will say that's not what? You will say that's not the table. You say, where is the table? Say the table, the table is not supposed to have this kind of leg. You say, where is the table? Come and show me the table. Where is the table? The real things are in your mind. If you are able to capture it here. For those of you that are Christians, you remember when Christ said, talking about fornication, if you can think about it, you've done it. You know why he said it? Because the real thing is in the mind. So if you want to be a powerful entrepreneur, Elon Musk woke up one day and he said electric cars can become normal cars. Where did it happen? His mind. His mind. And I used my mind well. Today, I lead an organization that is close to 1,000 staff. The profile is big. Together with these ladies that you are seeing, we have a group of women, 200 and what? As at yesterday, 283 or 93 women that we are mentoring, right? All of that would happen not because there was money. Listen, no, not because what? No, you don't need money to start. The things that you need to get started are free for everybody. Try, imagine. Resilience. What's resilience? Stay there. You cannot do small jobs today. Do big jobs tomorrow. Do red jobs another day. They see you in this business today. They see you in another business tomorrow. The next day you want to be a caterer. Another day you want to be a baker. Another day you want. No. You have to hold on to one thing. Be consistent. I've only done one thing all my life. And today I'm celebrated for it. My mentor will tell me, Enamoro, stay there. You know what that means? It will eventually turn to one. It will eventually get hold. Stay there. Stay there. It's not about internet noise. It's staying there. Staying there. You know, there's so many things we can learn. I hope that this little one has helped you and given you the courage. I remember so well the days I was sitting in training programs. Then any training, as far as it's free, I go. I remember days where I was sitting and I was imagining when they read somebody's profile, I was thinking to one day they would be able to. Today she couldn't read the profile because it's long, right? Can you imagine, right? But there was a time there was no profile, and so if I had sat in the congregation, in the audience before and listened to people and followed what they did, and today I have a story that is sweet enough, right? It means that as you are sitting there too, one day, if you follow everything that you are learning, one day your story too will be told. Take that action, kill that fear. Just keep going. Just keep going. Are you getting it? Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Please, can we put our hands together once again for Mr. Enamoro Okai? What you want to ask, we want to leave here exactly 4 o'clock. And so I will quickly, and after that we go into the panel session. Please put out your questions, write them out. Please put your hands together as I invite our elegant mommy, Mrs. Taiwo Oluyomi Adejimo. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Wow, that was a powerful delivery. Okay, I think it was very well pitched, and I also think it was practical. And because I believe that each one of us here, we've already heard from our daddy there. He talked, I walked in when he was talking, and I know I received a lot in terms of the entrepreneurial principles. And we don't have to go into all the terminologies and all that. Here, we want to just make sure we get an experience that would what? Ginger us. In fact, I want to say that will let us do the buga. You know? Vera, go get your mola. Isn't that what they say? Isn't that what? I'm saying it as mola. Mola is money to me, because if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be able to get your mola. You have to be able to vera. You have to know what your buga is. What he was telling you there was just all about our story. Everyone here who's an entrepreneur has a story. But that story, I can assure you, will become a testimony. Like everyone here, you've heard the beautiful stories of those blessed people who will be tasting their food later. So with the way he's delivered the mindset principle, and then my brother also coming to talk about the practical steps we have to take. I think it's now what we need to also have. And the title I tagged my own talk, is the entrepreneurial mindset tough. I don't know how many of us know what the tough is. I'm using the American Canadian type of language, TUFF, which means tough. You know, when you're tough, that means you're rigid, you're rugged, you're tough, you're unbreakable. And what does that do to an entrepreneurial mindset? That means you keep on going. You don't look back, you just keep on going. Because I'm standing here and I'm nearly 60 years old. Next year I'll be 60 years old. I don't want to go into accolades. I'm not about accolades. I don't want to go about what anything I have been able to achieve, because it's also the glory of God. Here, what we want to do is get down to business. So I had a longer sort of, time is going. I was going to actually break it down to details and all that, because I love teaching. But with that pitch, I think I just have to now put it all together so that we can understand what it is to have the entrepreneurial tough. You have to be tough. What does it mean to be tough? It means that as an entrepreneur, you need to first know who you are. A lot of times we don't have, can I have this? I'm not, I don't try. A lot of times, when you're setting out to be an entrepreneur, he said he's never worked for anyone. That happens to be a similar story to mine. I've never worked for anyone, not even in Canada. I've never worked for anyone. And the only reason why you can be like that is because you know who you are. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you stand for? Because as he said it like that, he didn't tell you the fun times, my dear brother. You didn't tell them when you are looking at the ceiling and you are wondering when is this thing going to drop. You didn't tell them the painful things you went through emotionally, psychologically, when you were looking for the jobs. And then when you finally got the hit, you didn't tell them how tough it was to make it matter. So don't think it's easy. That's where I'm coming. It's not easy. I have a very, very beautiful lady here today who also, if not for her, I would not have met Oluwatosin, as I call her. Popularly, we call her Cheflizzy. But Cheflizzy came into my life because of an entrepreneur, extraordinary, by the name of Bisi Lola. She's sitting right in that corner. I was so happy to see her because I just arrived. I just came in just 2 days ago from Canada. And you know, when he said people matter, people matter. Because today, all right, thank you. Because today, we're making now, you know, people make you connect. And that is one thing you need to have to be a good entrepreneur. You need to know how to connect. You need to know how to, all that mentors, I don't need to go back. I was going to talk about mentoring and coaching. I happen to be in an MPA program, even at this age, leadership coaching and mentoring, because I believe we need in my generation to raise the young. We need sustainability. That's another thing that I don't see in an enterprise. I'm so happy, sir. Thank you very much, my sister, that you're doing a great job at doing that, because you can't make it in business if you don't have mentors. I have young mentors. I have mentors that are older than me, and I then have mentors that are my peers. So that's one thing I want you to take away. He spoke about it, but you need to be conscious about it. Otherwise, you waste your time and you shed tears that you don't have to shed. My story started not because I couldn't get a job. I could get a job anywhere I wanted because I happened to come from an elite family. But at a young age, I lost my father. At 10, I had lost my father. So I had the first mentor in my life was my mother. Bless her memory, she passed on in 2020. And you know, you don't know what parents do and what they can use. She spoke about her mother. She spoke about what she saw, what she really was seeing in her mother was, I'm not going to become like you. Maybe she didn't say it clearly. She was saying that I am not going to end up like you because I'm going to be a woman who can stand up and do things and make a name for myself. And that's where the ideation became one of the terms we use in entrepreneurship. That was when she started to imagine the things she could do. And then she started to craft the ideas of how will I get to that place where no man can shake me, where I have my assurance and my confidence. Ideation goes a lot in business. And he spoke about it in terms of the spirit of what? Imagination. He ended it with that. If you do not have an imagination, forget it. You cannot be an entrepreneur. I'm sorry to say, I'm being candid. I don't waste words. Anybody who cannot sleep, meditate, think about things, be a thinker. Put on your thinking cap, is what I meant. Because we're talking about mindset. The language simply, mindset means it's your mind. How do you think? Are you a thinker? Or do you just want to look at other people doing things and you're moaning and sitting back and saying, no, I can't do it? Everything you are comes from God. Because even as he said again, he said there is a power. That power is what I have called Zoe. Zoe matters in life. Zoe is that pursuit for that thing that charges you. And it only comes, I'm sorry, I'm a preacher too. It only comes from God Almighty, the Creator. Because He's the one who is the chief architect of your imagination, of your mind. He's the one in a dream who can give you an idea that can win different types of inventions. And when He gives you those things, if you're linked to Him, you'll find out that you will get it right. No matter what anybody else is doing, yours will come out better. So I want you also to tie your existence as a human being created by God to the fact that you need God to speak to you in terms of your imagination and your ideation. When He does that to you, you will find out that your natural talents, because we all have talents, we all have skills. We were born, we're created for a purpose. So that purpose that He has created you for will begin to form through what? The process of thinking. I told you, I said, my business started, my business skills and my business ideas of who I wanted to be began not because of it. I could get a job, as I said. In fact, I worked with I'm a lawyer by profession, English law, and then I just became a very young housewife. And in those days, I call them the middle 80s. The women here, can we all stand up, please? Let me give you a round of applause. Is everybody my age? You know, I said they should stand up. Sorry. That's what I want them to do. I just want to celebrate women. Can we all stand up? I think women even were more here than any other. I want to say something about the woman, because the two men that came up talk a bit about women. I am a woman, so I know what it is to be a woman. You see, we don't get it easy to be an entrepreneur. You know why? We are what? Seen as baby machines. We're seen as the people, the housekeepers. We're also seen as the one that is going to look after all the extended family, right from the baby husband we married, to the family he came from, to our own family. So we are loaded with so much tasks. So when a man is talking about success in entrepreneurship, they don't know anything. We have so much to do. So as a woman, I'm standing here again to say that every woman here, do not let a man stop you from becoming what you want to become. We are no more in those ages where I was confronted by my husband who said, you cannot walk, you must be a housewife. I can maintain you, I can look after you. And you know, it didn't matter to me. I had to do of furniture. So my ideation became sitting down in the house, looking at the furniture, looking at everything, and beginning to create my dream through looking at furniture and soft furnishings. So I became an interior designer. From English to law, interior designer. And what did I do? I can't leave. Because me, as a Christian, you have to obey your husband, or you have to use common sense.